All right, you found your way back to the Surrounded by Idiots radio podcast. This is your host, Dr. Tony Dufresne. This is where you get news, notes, information. You get all kinds of stuff to help you rise above the unwashed masses, to live life on your own terms. And today, another very special guest, the voice of Millennial Today, and it's going to be Shane. And I brought him in because you are a professional, really.
I would say
you
so.
are a professional in your field.
A young professional.
Right, and today we're going to talk about a millennial professional, which is exactly what we need on the show, just like we had last week. Right? Well, Angela's here, but she's off camera.
Can't see her.
So you can say hi, though, Angela, so we can hear her. Okay, there you go. But I brought Shane in because he is I'm going to let him tell you about himself, but today we're going to talk about fitness, and we're going to talk about really the basically three super easy things you can do to get yourself balanced from a fitness standpoint, get your life balanced. So, hey, Shane, how are you? Thanks for coming in.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And so, no worries, man. So give me a little bit of a background in terms of what your gig is,
okay,
and what you have, and then we'll roll into what, this is going to be kind of a freewheeling discussion today.
That's where I thrive. It'll be great.
Good, because that's what's going to happen. Yeah. Because I just had usually, and I was talking to Angela and Shane before the show. Usually, I've got pretty structured notes in regards to what I want to talk about, but not today because we both have the same kind of background, but you're much more on the front lines now, and so this is really going to be me asking questions about kind of what's going on now.
Sure.
And then how to kind of whittle it down to like three things that we can share.
Simplify.
Exactly. Right. So give me a little bit of background on you.
So what I do now is my title would be facility manager. I manage a sports training facility called FAST. Foothills Acceleration and Sports Training is the acronym. We do group fitness classes, personal training, as well as sports performance classes. Sports performance ranges anywhere from ages 8 to 18. General population for personal training, I think my youngest client would probably be 33, and my oldest is 74.
Oh, okay, wow.
And I've got everything in between. So, and then group fitness classes are very general. Think adult boot camps, Monday through Thursdays, and Tuesday, Thursday in the mornings.
Okay.
We're also connected with the physical therapy clinic, so Foothills Sports Med. We get a lot of referrals from over there. So pretty much every client I have personal training-wise all have some sort of restriction or injury or
right. So it's like a rehab or something. And so
Big time, yeah.
So you have to customize it based upon their particular situation and kind of work around that. So
everything is customized. It is true personal training, in my opinion. Every program is different. There is no one program fits all with me. Maybe the most I have on the same program is 2.
Right, which is really the way it should be anyway, right?
Right.
I mean, there really is no one size fits all at all. Even if you're perfectly healthy, right?
Oh, everybody has different genotypes, phenotypes, everything. There is no one size fits all. If there was, we'd all be doing it, right?
It'd be great. And it'd probably be easier than what's going on now.
Much easier, which we all try to look for is the easy button, right?
Oh, man. Well, yeah, that's always
it doesn't exist.
But that's why isn't that why most people that go into a fitness program and what I was a personal trainer for a long time, and I kind of incorporate that now into my lifestyle coaching stuff now. But most people come into that wanting that solution, wanting the answer, wanting you to tell them what the answer is,
yes,
and then kind of give them that formula, that magic formula, and then in a month they'll be amazing.
Oh yeah, that there is no magic formula.
Remember we were talking right before the show about the summer body?
Yep.
And the fact is that somebody will come into you like 2 or 3 months before summer and ask you, and then you tell them.
Oh, that's the worst. That's my biggest pet peeve. I'm gonna say, get ready for next year.
Right.
You already fucked this one up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Chalk
done.
it up as a loss.
Done. It's
Walk
done.
away. It's
right.
done. Yep.
Yeah.
Prepare for next year.
I've lost a lot of clients.
They don't want to hear that.
No.
That's not a sexy answer.
No.
People don't like that. People don't want to pay money for that.
No, but it's God's honest truth.
It is the absolute truth, and you would be doing them a disservice by selling them or telling them otherwise.
Yeah, tell me how many people out there will take their money, though.
Oh, plenty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys out there that do that.
There's plenty of guys out there that'll make us look bad by doing that.
All the time.
You'll fight it in the profession.
Yeah, and that's the problem. The problem is that, and it's the same thing with psychologists and therapists in me talking to my clients that I work with now. They'll go to somebody, they'll go to a therapist or psychologist, like maybe for the first time or second time, or a family systems person, and it'll be a terrible experience because the person will be an idiot. And believe me, I went to school with those people. Yeah. A lot of them are crazy. Sure. I mean, they're batshit crazy. So, and they're going there for themselves more than anything.
Yep.
And so they get out, and then they're just, and it's the same thing with trainers. I've seen more crappy trainers that just take your money and put you through the same generic bullshit that they put everybody else through. And then what happens is that somebody gets a really bad taste in their mouth about the whole industry. Because everybody does that. You always overgeneralize about stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And you say, I went to a trainer, they suck, I'm going to do it myself. And then they're donezo. So this is really kind of off topic, but when has that happened? I mean, have people come to you and saying, I've had bad experiences in the past, blah,
totally.
blah, blah?
Totally. And so that kind of leeways into the referrals we get from sports medicine and rehab, because a lot of people, they say, well, I worked with a trainer in the past, I got hurt doing this, now I'm at rehab. How do I know you're not going to do the same thing to me? How do I know you're not going to hurt me like my last trainer did? Especially
with the rehab stuff, right?
And so I'm already in the hole. I got to dig myself out.
So what do you do in that circumstance?
I do. My biggest thing is open communication. Say you have to. I tell them right up front. I go, there's no book. There's no special formula, if you will, to say if you have a knee replacement and your knee hurts, there is no book that's going to tell me you can do this exercise and you cannot do this exercise. You have to let me know immediately. If this bothers you and this hurts, let me know. I will change the modality. We will squat somehow. I will make you step up. We will get in better shape. We will find a different way, a different outlet to accomplish the same goal. There is no one size fits all. And just because you and I had the same knee replacement doesn't mean that I can do high box step ups and you can't. You may be able to, and I can't. There's so much variety and so much difference in everybody with same injuries, same backgrounds, whatever. There is no one size fits all.
And that really, and again, that just wraps us up into the entirety of the show. And the reason why we're doing it is because, number one, nobody's the same. And if anybody tries to tell you that you can just follow the same thing, or if you go online and you just follow a program and it's not effective for you, then there's probably a reason for that. I mean, it could be on a number of different planes. But what we want to do today is kind of dispel some of those myths and get down to some really three, maybe four, whatever, basic stuff.
However many we get to.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe 6, 7,
it could be.
So.
I don't know. You try to make it simple, but then it ends up, that's
usually kind of takes off into another category, and before you know it, you spitballed for an hour. And
that's the story of the show. That's the story of this whole damn show.
Right.
It's like that. So a couple things that I want to bring up offhand, I just jotted down some quick notes that I want to throw out at you, and we'll kind of talk about.
Let's do it.
This is the one thing that I tell even my clients now, not specifically fitness, but people come in and say, and they want this objective, or they have this thing that they want, and then you say they go into a training program, or they want to go into like a meditation program or something. Physical chemistry, your physiology and your chemistry is as important as getting your mindset right or making consistent training your thing. What you put in your fucking mouth is, as I always say, it's an 80-20 thing. 80% of where you want to go with your fitness and your training, whether it be aesthetic, hypertrophy, or how you look, or how you feel, or how fast you can run, or how high you can jump. It has to do with what you put in your mouth.
Absolutely. It might even be more than that. 80-20.
Yeah, I was trying to be nice.
You're being a little conservative with that. That's fine. But I will just say, in my experience, I would say within the last 5 years, so I'll be 28 here in about 2 weeks. From 23 to 28, I would say I train half as hard, half as frequent, but my diet is so much better. And if you were to compare strength to weight ratios from 23 to 28, not only have I gotten older, trained less, and trained with less intensity, my strength is equal.
Isn't that amazing?
But nutrition is the one factor that kind of helps balance that out.
Okay, well then share. Why don't you share just maybe 2 or 3 points in regards to those changes that you did make that you saw as really positive attributes that have led you to this?
So I am a big, and I will get a lot of grief for this or a lot of pushback, but I am a high protein, high fat, low carb guy. I stick to you must deserve your carbs. If I train, I eat carbs. If I do not train, I do not eat carbs. My roommate over here would be the first to tell you that. We got in a fight over a sweet potato.
Oh, outstanding.
She made me a sweet potato.
I
didn't train that day. I did not eat the sweet potato because I didn't feel that I had deserved it.
Hence the fight.
hence the fight. And so, yeah, fight ensues. We didn't talk the whole rest of that night because I didn't eat the fucking sweet potato.
Because of a sweet potato.
Mm-hmm. So, but it does take it.
Yeah.
On the to piggyback off that, it does take that sort of discipline though to be able to accomplish your goals. There is no sexy. It's all hard work.
Okay, let me ask you, because we've talked about this before. How long does it take to get to the point where you're that precise on your discipline, though? I mean, you're going to have people that come in,
sure, and they're
still trying to figure out if they should have white rice with butter and all that shit versus having brown rice with butter and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
The one thing that I try to tell everybody, you can't eat the whole elephant.
Yep.
It's one bite at a time.
One bite at a time.
And I know we talked about that a lot too, because in doing something like this in terms of the diet and the nutrition and making changes. Mm-hmm. I just want to bring this up now.
Yeah.
Making the changes, give yourself a break.
Sure.
Right? I mean, and you deal with this all the time with your clients too. They want to come in and do change completely everything.
Yes, and it never works.
Because
there's always let's call it a rebound effect. So you cut 10 pounds within a week because you did this fast dieting. Well, you're probably going to gain all that back and 7% within the following week because you can't stick to it. It's not optimal. It's not realistic. For example, I had a guy who I just started training a couple weeks ago, looking to play overseas basketball. About 12 pounds overweight currently, comes in. He goes, "Hey man, I've been kind of chilling, getting kind of fat, but I'm ready to start training." I go, "Okay, well, when's the last time you've been doing serious weight training, resistance training?" He goes, "It's probably been a couple of years, man." Mm-hmm. He's like, "But I'm ready to hit it now, 3 times a week, and I need to get on a diet plan. I need to do this." I go, "We're gonna train." I go, "But we're not going to touch your diet for the first 3 weeks. We're going to see how you respond." I go, "You'll see that you'll lose a lot of the weight you want now. And then once we really try to dial in those body composition goals, then we fine tune the diet and see what works for you and how you can even navigate through the day."
Right.
He came back. That was on a Wednesday. He came back Friday. Actually, he didn't come back Friday because he was so sore from Wednesday and Thursday that he came back on Monday and thanked me for not making him go through a diet.
Right.
At the same time.
At the same time.
Yeah, because he's just trying to adapt to even training. So it's progression, not perfection. You just try to be good a little bit most of the time. And then as you get better and you get consistent, then you make the next change and the next
change.
Such a
profound and important concept. Mm-hmm. Progression, not perfection.
That is the key.
I mean, it really is, isn't it? In terms of and you can even apply that to pretty much everything. But in the context of now, and in the context of fitness, and how important diet and nutrition is, as well as everything else. But it really is. You've got to make those small steps. If you try to do too much at once, first of all, your body's going to respond. It's going to go into shock.
Yep.
The second thing is that you're going to feel like complete shit because you're so far out of your norm.
Yep.
And then you're going to get pissed off, and then you're going to say, fuck it.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
then
natural, the whole thing, right? People just freak out. Well, they say, all right, fuck, I ruined everything. I'm done.
Yeah, but that's because they're so far out of their box.
Yeah.
And they think that they have to take such a big step to make this profound change in their life.
Yep.
Where that's not the case at all.
No.
In fact, that would be more of a detriment than anything.
Mm-hmm.
So in coming back to the diet thing, because I want to get to your thing.
Sure.
So the sweet potato.
Yeah.
Do you even discern on the carbs in terms of if you do your starchy carbs, do you only do a certain amount and then allow yourself more of like cruciferous stuff, like broccoli and cauliflower and all that kind of stuff, or do you get to those minute little?
I do, obviously depending on what type of training I'm going through and what my goals are. Most of the time they're body composition goals now because I'm not training for any sport or anything. It's all about just to make sure I look good and that she doesn't turn her back on me at night before bed.
Right, exactly. So, priorities.
Yeah, priorities. Exactly. So I guess I kind of introduce, once I'm really trying to lean out, I'll be really strict on the carbs. Then once I get to a point where I feel lean enough or I'm feeling too small where it's hurting me in the weight room, then I start incorporating carbs back into my diet.
So you're cycling.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then what that'll do is usually the first ones I start to reintroduce back into the diet are actually more simple ones such as fruits. Mm-hmm. So I'll cut myself off from those. I won't cut myself off from veggies because usually they're higher in fiber.
Yeah.
Something that we all need more of, actually,
mm-hmm.
Dietary fiber. But once I start cycling back in, I'll start introducing fruits, and then I'll start getting into sweet potatoes, things like that.
So so you start with your fruits and then go more starchy.
Yep, exactly.
Into those.
As I start to phase back in.
Are they okay? So for the person that is just wants to make those incremental changes right now, in terms of diet, would you suggest? We talked about the food log, but would you? We know how that goes.
Sure.
I don't know if you. What would you suggest in terms of a really easy thing to do to make one small shift?
Eat more fruits and veggies. If you do that, you'll probably find yourself feeling more full. You'll probably snack on less shit. But as far as carbs go, too, don't do man-made carbs. If a man made it in a lab or wherever, factory or something like that, it's probably not the best for you.
So anything processed, boxed, anything of that.
Right. It seems pretty simple, but if you think about it and look at it, exactly. Yeah. It takes a little bit more mindfulness. You will have to pay a little bit more attention, and sometimes that's a good thing.
How about eating out fast food stuff?
I do not trust anyone making my food. I hardly even trust her sometimes.
Well, especially with sweet potatoes.
Yeah,
apparently,
she'll spike my meal with carbs when I'm not looking.
Really?
Yeah.
We gotta find them up some way.
Oh my God, Melissa's the same way. I know her cousin, so and she does the same thing.
Yeah, they'll feed you Italian style. Italia style.
Yeah, it's damn Italians.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, well, you need noodles with that protein.
Oh, God, no.
Get those noodles out of here.
Right?
Yeah. Be in food coma.
Yeah, oh, yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
That's just, so in terms of, like, eating out and stuff.
Yes.
I would
say we limit exposures. We limit exposures to, not perfect. No, we definitely eat out, but we don't, Taco Bell, McDonald's, those are, like, that's not even a thought in our head. That is... Usually my idea of eating out is like, fuck, let's just swing into Whole Foods, grab like a box of shit we can eat, and then go home and eat it.
Let's say you're on the road. See, most people are not like that.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. And that's why the progression of restaurants is actually more towards the fast food stuff. And
totally.
So if that is the case, and there's a lot of people out there saying, places to eat or things to eat and that kind of stuff. But from your experience and from dealing with clients all the time and talking to them and what they're eating, is there a way to be able to do that or without getting too much in your head, without having to get in there? And nobody's going to read the nutrition bullshit thing. I always say, you should do that, but they don't.
Yeah, nobody does.
And so they roll in there.
Too much effort, too much time.
They roll in there. They're starving. It's just, is there a way that maybe... I'm trying to split hairs, really, is what I'm trying to do. Instead of getting the Whopper and the fries and all that shit, is there a way that you can kind of do it, compromise?
I would say the biggest issue is in your situation, you say somebody rolls in and they're fucking starving, right? When you're starving, you are not in a good position to make good health decisions.
You think?
Yes. So if you can try to limit starving yourself by... It takes more effort, but meal prepping or having some sort of snack or planning for the future and not letting yourself get to that point. That is the biggest issue. We pack lunches. I bring plenty of snacks everywhere I go, so that way I don't have to rely on eating out or fast food. If I have to, I will. And then as you get more knowledgeable and educated in what works and what doesn't for your body, you can decide where you're going to eat out.
Planning.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's all about
a little bit of planning.
I would consider it preventative. You are trying to prevent getting to that hungry state where you're starving and anything sounds good, because once you do that, you've officially fallen off the wagon. You self-loathe. You feel like shit.
Yeah, it's a downward spiral.
And it's a downward spiral. And if that happens in the middle of the day, the rest of your day is fucked.
Pretty much.
So if you do not make good decisions throughout the day, you are more likely to just fuck up the entire day and start over the next day.
Right. So you throw the towel in. You're like, well, I've already done this. I've already eaten a half a pint of ice cream. I might as well just,
totally
go nuts.
Yeah. No, you hear it all the time, right?
Yeah.
You said, well, I've already come this far. I'm going to fucking do it, right? So,
right.
Yeah, exactly. Half a pint. People start breakfast like that. Like, I started off, had a good breakfast, and then, like, mid-morning, like, somebody brought in donuts to the office, and I fucking smashed 3 donuts.
Right.
Well, are you gonna have a salad for lunch after that?
No,
probably not.
Right.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah,
You're gonna say, you know what? fuck this, let's go to happy hour with
Right.
all my friends. I'm gonna smash whatever burger afterwards, and just I've already come this far.
Yeah.
It's done.
The cheat meal has turned into the cheat day.
Oh yeah, every day is
Right.
Every meal is cheat meal. Yeah, everybody's bulking.
Right. So right. So speaking in the wrong way.
Yes, exactly. Wrong bowl.
So speaking of cheat meal, cheat day, cheat week, whatever.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on any of those?
I think, as far as cheat meals are concerned, if they are fine, I think you should do them probably at least once a week or maybe twice a week, so you don't drive yourself nuts. The biggest issue I see is people try to do everything so perfectly that they drive themselves insane. And
again, what we were talking
yep,
about.
they drive themselves nuts, and then so they push themselves to the limits for a week, 2 weeks, however long they can last, however long they can. Their internal motivation will take them.
Yeah.
And then after that, they fall off and eat whatever the hell they want. But if you keep it a little bit more consistent, if you just try to be good most of the time, you say, you know what, I've been pretty good the last couple of days. I'm not going to feel guilty about eating a little bit of ice cream.
Right.
here
And
there.
it'll be like a meal or a snack,
Yeah.
not a day.
Yo, no. Yeah, not a day. Eat something there, so that way the next day you're like, okay, I got it out of my system. I can go back. I'll have my normal healthy breakfast in the morning. Start making good decisions again throughout the day. It doesn't necessarily need to be every day, but I think it's fine if you've been pretty good and you know you're being good. Go for it.
Yeah,
You'll be fine.
there was. Did you see the new study that was out? I think it was CDC. It was somebody, maybe NIH. I can't remember. National Institute of Health or CDC. It only takes 5 days of eating in a certain way to change your metabolism.
Oh, I believe that.
5 days.
Yes.
That's it. So if you go off the wagon for 5 days and start eating shit again,
Yep.
your metabolism will go right back.
Right back to how it was.
Right back to how it was, yeah. So you can't be going nuts like that. But I think you brought up a good point. It's the same thing as taking yourself so far out of your own comfort zone.
Yep.
Instead of taking that, like, just the toe in the water.
Yeah.
It's like, taking a boat out in the middle of it, and that's it. I always make it like it's a rubber band, and the farther out you go from your norm, the farther it stretches. But
Yep.
what happens is once you break, man, you snap right back.
Snap right back, and even a little bit further back. than
Yeah,
where you were
exactly.
before.
And it's a complete dumpster fire.
Yep. And it's not worth it.
No.
What was the point?
And that's
You
what
end up
happens.
gaining weight.
Right, but then you feel like shit,
Yeah.
and then you're like, the hell with this, and then you give up, and people are in this constant
And it goes
cycle.
back. That leaves a bad taste in your mouth too.
Yeah,
and they
exactly.
Say, and then they try something else and it doesn't work. And they say,
Yeah.
"I've tried everything and nothing works."
Right.
Well, you didn't do it the right way. There's stuff that works. You just didn't do it.
You know,
the correct
a
way.
lot of stuff out there that works.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
And I talk to my clients about that too, about going through self-help books, training, all that kind of stuff. Any sort of thing that's been effective for a decent group of people has the ability to be effective for you.
Sure.
But it has to speak in your particular language. You have to hear it the way that you hear it, and then you have to fucking commit.
Yeah. At the end of the day,
You gotta commit.
What is the easy pill? What's the easy formula? What's the easy success? It's hard work.
Yeah, there's no easy.
It's hard work and time in the game.
Right. You got to put your time in.
Yep.
You got to. And that goes for, that's analogous for anything.
Oh yeah, no, that's
Right?
the beauty of being in the weight room and strength and conditioning is there's so much that translates it transfers over to
Right.
life.
Best part about me, what I found integrating all that, integrating the training and the health and the food log and all that stuff into where my clients are. The physical training is that one thing that you feel as though you can control most because you can control what's on your fork. You can control when you go to the gym.
Yep.
You control your level of intensity and what you do and what your choice is. It has the most level of control over and above the ego. You know, the ego is all that internal
Yep.
dumpster fire that goes on in your head.
Sure.
But you can get out and go to the gym. You can pick out what you eat and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
It has the physical aspect of that trinity, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. You have the most control over. That's what I love about it because
Yep.
if you can get in there and you can exercise your control in that arena,
Yep.
then you got it. I mean, you
have a better chance at life.
Oh my God, it's
Yeah.
not even funny. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so much more effective to get people dialed in to that, and then they can take that, and then that kind of transcends, and that helps out all the other aspects of their life.
Absolutely.
Because I mean, you get clients in, and they even going through rehab or whatever. How much more confident do they feel? How much more in control do they feel? How much more grounded do they feel when they get through that?
You know, just aside from general pop, but athletes as well too. Everybody feels more confident when they can come in and they see themselves progressing. They don't think about it. They're just in here working hard, breathing heavy. The confidence is the biggest thing. Parents come in to me and say, hey, you know what? Like, maybe he's not that much faster, but his confidence is that much higher. So
Right.
he comes in. So now when he goes to try out for a team or play with his friends or something, his whole attitude and his demeanor is more positive, and it's better. And so he can perform better. He can do things better. And when you have more confidence, your own expectations of yourself begin to rise a little bit, and you start to expect more out of yourself, and you push yourself
And
a
then
little
you
bit
meet
more.
them. That's the best
exactly.
part.
And then now you're forced to meet them, right? You expect a
Exactly.
little bit more out of yourself.
Exactly.
So you do a little bit more. Then you hit that one. Then it's on to the next one. Then
Exactly.
the next one. Then the next one. Again, a progression.
Exactly, and it does come down to, with that confidence, with that surety or that level of understanding of who you are. You're okay with actually maybe even putting the toe in the water and having it not work out. And having to come back or making a mistake
Yep.
or failing on a lift,
Yep.
because you do a lot of training with the Olympic weightlifting
Yes.
type of and almost specifically in terms of specialization stuff, you're very dialed into that.
Sure.
And how many fails are there? I mean, that's kind of part of the thing, right?
Yeah, no, funny you bring that up. So with Olympic lifting, like I'd mentioned before, it's highly technical. One of the first steps in the progression of learning to lift, you have to teach them how to fail. You have to teach them how to miss. If they cannot properly miss, they're very liable to get hurt.
Really?
Yes. So if they do not know how to miss properly, you are moving a barbell with weights on it from the floor to over your head in one motion. If at any point in that system that lift goes wrong and you do not know how to get out of the way, you're going to end up on YouTube on a gym fail compilation video.
And those do not look pretty.
They do not look pretty. You don't want to be that person on the. Yeah,
they
they don't
do
look
not,
comfortable.
no.
I mean, I'm sure the majority of people have seen somebody go to put a barbell over their head. It falls down on their neck. They go down face first. They probably didn't learn how to fail.
Clearly, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I mean, not weird, but that's such a great point. The fact that you actually, in your process of teaching and education, teach them that not only how to fail, but it's an important component to the growth.
Very important. You must fail to grow.
That should be a fucking bumper sticker.
Right? Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to make one.
Yeah, there it is.
I mean,
you must fail to grow.
I can't tell you. In fact, I just had a client meeting this morning, and I probably said that about 10 times.
Really?
Yeah. Well, because you deal with perfectionism. You deal with people that come in and they think they have to be perfect.
Sure.
They think that everything they do has to be, because there's a spotlight on them, and there's expectations,
Yep.
which is the worst.
Yeah.
Because nobody is. Everybody's just a flawed.
But more often than not, isn't it an internal expectation? It's not even as much as an external.
It's perceived external,
Yep.
like from expectations usually from parents.
Sure.
And it's a neural pathway
Yep.
thing that's been developed when they were really young. But it's all internal. It's an ego. It's just an ego thing. And if they're perfectionists, then God knows if they fail, then they are a failure.
Yep.
And that's
but only to themselves, not really to anybody
right.
else.
Well,
themselves.
Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, it's like you
right?
failed. Okay, so get up and keep going.
It would be interesting to me for you if you could tell me, if you deal with people when you teach them how to fail initially, if you get resistance.
In this instance, no, because they understand that I'm looking out for their best benefit. I'm looking out for their health. I'm teaching them to not get hurt.
Interesting.
Yes, because they understand. They trust me. They say, okay, Shane, like this must be like some legit shit if you're teaching me how to miss first before I make. Yes. So now that we've established that relationship, that bond, now we can move forward. You know how to miss. Let's learn technique. Let's put some weight on the bar, and let's get going.
Isn't that funny? Because in an analogy, that actually applies to even doing coaching, doing everything.
But now, as they keep progressing and as they keep adding a little bit more weight to the bar, they know how to fail. So they're fine with putting a little bit more weight and pushing themselves a little bit further because they know they're not going to get hurt. They know how to fail. So they say, okay, I'm comfortable with it. I might miss this. I know how to miss. It's fine. Throw it up. They miss. Dump it forward. They fall down. They realize, oh, I'm okay. I can do that. I'm going to try it again. Give me that bar.
And we can take this and apply this concept to just everybody else in regards to the thing we're talking about today, like some basic important concept of creating balanced fitness in your life. Learning how to fail is a really big thing.
Oh, it's a huge thing. And the weight room is one of the easiest places to push yourself to failure. Not many people know how to push themselves to failure. Sometimes you don't even give rep ranges. You just say, hey, you're going to do as many as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Go until you fail.
And then 3 more after that.
Yep. And then they realize, like, oh, I'll probably be able to get 10. And if
Mm-hmm.
you tell yourself you're going to get 10, you probably will get 10. If you say 20, you'll probably get 20.
Right.
It's you start to realize,
Yeah.
say I can push myself, a little bit further than I ever thought I could.
Mm-hmm.
And most people are pleasantly surprised by that.
Yeah, it's that. I always love the Navy SEAL thing, the 40% thing. I love it.
Which one's that?
The SEALs have a concept that's called the 40%, and it's when you are at failure or when you feel as though you can't do anymore, you've only expelled 40%.
Absolutely.
So
I totally agree with that.
right. So
Yeah.
it's because it's all here.
Oh yeah.
It's all here. So
They even teach us that in exercise phys. One of the
Did they?
Yeah, even
Yeah.
in college, one of the things they teach us to say, when you think you cannot push yourself any further,
Yeah.
it's this. More often than not, they say 90% of the time, at least in exercise phys, your body is capable of more. It's your mind that holds you back.
Exactly. It's a restriction.
Yep.
And that goes the same thing with dieting, nutrition, with exercise, and with implementing a strategy, a fitness strategy, maybe maybe an exercise program within your busy life schedule. So let's roll out of the diet nutrition and kind of go into the question I have, and I ask a lot of people, is do your expectations match your life structure? And we talk about, when people come in and they initially say, and I'm sure you probably dealt with this too, what do you want from this program?
Yeah.
And they may be they may have a 60-hour-a-week job, and they may be totally out of shape, and eat like hell, and they want to be Arnold in 4.5 months or something. I want to be able to lift a Buick. I want to be able to go out and crush crush beer cans with my bicep. So a lot of that is what you see in your mind even realistic? And what's it based on? Is it based more on social construct? Is it based on all the fit chicks that are on Instagram?
Oh yeah.
And then how do you? First of all, yes, these are all rhetorical questions
Yeah.
because this
Yes,
happens.
yeah,
This happens
right.
to us all the time.
Oh yeah.
So and that's one thing that I think people should realize is that when you come in or when you want to create a balance, you've got to look at your current situation
And set realistic goals.
right?
Yes.
So when somebody comes in and throws all that shit at you, how do you ground them into more of a let's take this, piece by piece and let's deal with what you have already?
I would say we take your analogy of eating an elephant, right? You don't attack the entire thing at once and eat as much as you can. You take it one bite at a time.
One bite at a time.
So you say, hey, you know what? We got to crawl before we walk. So let's see if you are in any sort of shape to even be touching weights right now.
Right, which is a good point.
So a lot of my times is I'll take that guy and I'll humble him by saying, all right, you want to be jacked and strong, but you can't even push a fucking sled for 20 seconds. How can you get that fucking strong if you can't push a sled without any weight for more than 20 seconds without falling on the floor and dying? How do you expect to?
So you give them a little bit of a.
Oh yeah, every one of every one of my clients, unless they have some sort of restriction or prior injury, they will go through 3 to 4 weeks of a general physical preparedness program where they will kick their own ass. They will slam med balls. They will throw ropes. They will push sleds. They will run. They will do. You have to establish a baseline first. And then they realize, once they see that, they realize, oh shit, my own goals were not. How the fuck did I ever think I was going to get strong? I can't even make it through a half hour of this circuit.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So then,
exactly.
And then all of a sudden they start to come back down. They say, okay, I get it. Yeah, I need to crawl before I walk. So then they're crawling out of there by the end of the session.
Like legit,
legitimately crawling. People threaten to cry, and I say, tears don't help.
Right.
Tears are not gonna get you any more energy or make this any easier.
Yeah.
The only way it gets easier is if you get stronger.
Right. So, so how would somebody take that if they were just kind of starting on their own again?
Yeah.
They don't want to go into a trainer. They don't want to do that. And they how can they take that attack or that approach on with themselves?
So funny you asked that. I did have this question probably last week with one of my other clients who needs to do stuff on days he's not with me. So what does he do? Most often than not, people try to find something to do, and they're so overwhelmed by trying to find a perfect plan that they just say, fuck it, I'm just going to train with Shane tomorrow. I'm not even going to try and stress about it. There's no need to stress. Take a second. You got 30 minutes out of the day. That's all you need. Take 30 minutes, pick 3 exercises, donate 10 minutes to each one of the exercises. You can split it up into upper body, lower body, and core. It's so simple. You do as many squats as you can for 10 minutes. Body weight squats, air squats. Do as many knee down push-ups or girl push-ups, but I know plenty of guys who need to do knee down push-ups.
Sure, yeah.
Do as many push-ups as you can in 10 minutes. Don't expect this insane number and it has to be perfect. Just do something and then hop on the floor and maybe do, I don't know, plank off and on for as long as you can for 10 minutes, and that's it. 30 minutes is done. The TV can roll the whole time. Food can be in the oven at the same time. 30 minutes is pretty, and it doesn't take, there is no magic program. There is no, just do something. Pick something, and then the next day you train with me or whoever, or you're sitting on yourself, you keep the same format, you swap the exercises. So now maybe you grab, I don't know, some sort of resistance within your house, and you just do overhead presses for 10 minutes, as many as you can. Take a break, however long you need. Then all of a sudden you realize, like, okay, I'm coming back to the next week. How many did I do last week? Okay, I think I can do more this week. And then you start to ramp it up a little bit, and then all of a sudden you get through 30 minutes, and you're like, I could probably go for another 10. You go 40 minutes.
And that's what starts to, right,
and then it starts to, and then it builds. It's
and
a progression
create
again.
the baseline,
Just start easy. Just start basic stuff. That's all you need. It's
simple, but it's difficult.
Exactly. Less is more.
Which is really the key, and that's what we want to get to. That's the main point of this whole show, is the fact that it's really not as scientific as it is.
Science-based.
I mean, it's science-based, but it doesn't have to be for everybody to start something and to create a level of consistency in their workout, or in their program and in their life, because the bottom line is that you will not progress from a mental, emotional, expansion. You will not, your life will not expand unless you take care of your body.
Absolutely.
It is a vital component to everything.
Yep.
And that's what I want to stress today. So the other thing I want to do was, well, I talked about trying to change too much too soon, and we talked about that, shocking the system and all that.
Yeah.
And an honest assessment of where you're at now. So we talked about the eating.
Yep.
In terms of making small changes. What do you think about food logs?
Food logs are great if you're honest.
Okay. First of all, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, so it never happens. So I guess food logs are a waste of time, because you're going to do it. You're going to lie to yourself, and you're still fat. So
right.
Not to be rude, but
no.
But you didn't see any changes. Nothing happened. Right. You did a food log and nothing changes. Then it leaves another bad taste in your mouth. And say, "Well, I tried a food log. It didn't fucking work." And we're like, "Well,
exactly."
Yeah,
and I was telling you that because we've had the same experience. Clients will do food log, and then they will, first of all, they'll change what they eat.
Yep.
For those 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
Just because they want to make sure that they're doing it the right way, or they'll lie like hell.
Yep. One of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they'll have it, but then they won't put down the amount that they had, which is part of the lying part, I guess.
Which is so fucking vague. Like, you have it. What's the point? What's the point of writing down what you had if you're not going to track?
That's what's going on, and that's why they're where they're at now.
Yeah, that's exactly why they're at.
It's all that cognitive dissonance. It's all that battle back and forth. The fact that they can't be honest with themselves.
That's why they got to where they're at, or lack of internal drive. Most
exactly.
people don't,
consistency, structure, all that fun stuff.
Yes, exactly.
So somebody coming into you, really busy life.
Okay.
What would be your one thing to say in order to get something going? What would you have them commit to?
I would say let's try and find time, maybe 3 times a week, 30 minutes, where you can get down to me, and we'll go through real quick, basic stuff, general physical preparedness. We'll get you in shape. We'll build up your work capacity, and then get you hooked to the point where you like it. And then once you feel more comfortable and you want to make it more of a priority in your life, we will increase the time. So you kind of hook them by saying, all right, 30 minutes. You always feel better after you get a good workout in.
You do.
Everybody does.
Well, it's a chemical release.
Yes, exactly. It's a chemical release. Everybody does. You have a good workout, and that you feel good. You want to do it again. Everybody hates it when they first show up. If you just get to the gym, you're not going to turn around and leave. You're already there. You're probably just going to do it. Just show up. I'll make sure you get through 30 minutes. I don't care how tired you are. I don't care what you ate. I don't give a shit about that. Just show up, and I'll work with you. Not every day is going to be your best training day. I understand that. If that were the case, 90-year-olds would be the strongest people in the world because every day they just keep getting better,
if
right?
Things progressed in that
exactly. It doesn't work like that.
No.
I understand. There's different physiological factors that go into every day. So just come in and work with me. Shane, I got 3 hours of sleep last night. I was up boozing with whoever. I had to get up early. I had this project. I didn't sleep, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Just come in. I'll work with you. So at least we're doing something. You'll feel better once you leave. You won't regret a good workout. Nobody does. So you get them hooked there, just a couple of sessions, maybe 3 weeks, maybe it's only 2 times a week for a half hour. Then they up it to 3. Then they say, hey, maybe we do 2 half hours and 1 hour session. Maybe it's 2 hour sessions. Maybe and then all of a sudden, before you know it, you're down the road, and you've progressed again into a now on your days when you're not doing anything, or if you miss a workout, you feel guilty, and you start, I'll just do a little something at home.
Again, the same concept. It's that progression, not perfection.
Yep.
And it's just
start somewhere.
Small stuff. Hey, listen, I've been working out for 30 years.
Yeah.
Right? Pretty consistently through 30 years. I still have days where I do not want to go to the gym.
Absolutely.
I mean, I am
Absolutely.
I am motherfuckering it all the way in the car.
And you're looking for
to
every
the
excuse.
Every possible
like, I got some laundry to do.
God, I hope I get a flat tire.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? And I get there and I'm like, God, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be. I do my first workout. Usually I start off with a compound like a squat or a deadlift or something, which is the worst because I hate it.
Yeah.
And then I'm there. And then after I get through about 3 sets, then I'm dialed.
Yeah, now you're in.
Because
right?
all the chemicals are kicking in.
Yep, exactly. You feel better.
Exactly.
I've had days where I go in where I'm not excited to be there. I'm like, fuck, I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm on a program. I need to train today, but I really don't want to. But I just show up. I just get on the bar. I just start working a little bit. And all of a sudden, once I get going, I'm like, actually, I feel pretty good. And I've had days where I will PR in a movement. I've had days where...
Even on days when you weren't expecting anything.
Yeah, on days where I was like, where I had to fucking grind just to even grab the bar, I will, once I get going, and say, actually, I feel pretty good. Let me take this up a little bit and see how I do. And I've literally had days like that where I PR.
Wow.
When I didn't.
Well, tell people what PR
gym.
is.
Personal record or PB, personal best.
Right.
Yeah. So, and whatever movement, squat, deadlift, bench, whatever your choice, just try to PR in something. Gave it a shot. And on days when I didn't even want to be in the gym.
Yeah.
You hit a PR, and then there's your chemical release. You feel good. You feel great. You just went from maybe not even training to. So don't let your own stress or whatever barriers you have get in the way of training. Just show up. It might turn out a lot better than you think.
Just show up.
Yep.
Just show up.
Just show up.
So progression, not perfection. Just show up.
Yep.
Dedicate yourself to just showing up.
Just showing
You're
up.
not going to want to show up every day. There's nobody that wants to show up every single day.
Nobody does.
Stephen King in writing, one of the best authors ever in the history of mankind, said he writes every day. And most of the time, he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
And it's not about inspiration. He doesn't wait for inspiration.
Yep.
He just sits down and starts writing, even if it's a whole page of nonsense.
Yeah.
He just does it, and that's what you need to do.
Sometimes I'll tell my clients, and this is kind of a PR nightmare, but I tell them, hey, if we only did the things we wanted to do, we'd all be drunk and pregnant. Everybody be out drinking, and everybody be out fucking.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, one of the two. Yeah.
I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that. I don't want to pay bills, but I do them anyway. So even though you don't want to, you just do it. You just show up anyway because you know what's good for you. It's medicine. It doesn't taste great some days, but you got to take it. You got to do it.
And you got to do it. Cool.
Yep.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
That was a good show.
Hey, that's
right?
it.
Yeah.
Right,
anything
cool.
else you want to say, kind of that on your top of your head that you want to throw out there before we?
One service announcement: sleep.
Oh, okay.
Sleep. Get good, restful sleep.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah, a lot of people do though. Many people. I didn't realize it's increasingly becoming an issue with more and more of my clients is stress, alcohol, whatever. They think it's normal to be exceptionally tired every morning, and that's not normal.
Right.
It's becoming a norm. But
but consistent workouts actually help you with that because it's the release. It'll release serotonin. It'll get your chemicals more balanced.
Yep.
And it won't get you to maybe overeat at night. It won't get you to have the coffee to stay up because you'll have more energy because you'll be more balanced.
Exactly.
So it'll be
it actually it affects your entire day if you get some sleep right. Everybody who's usually cutting you off in morning traffic and causing accidents probably didn't get enough sleep. They hit the snooze button. They're tired. They're in a rush. They're on their way to work.
Is that the reason?
I believe so.
I just thought they were a bunch of assholes.
That too, but they're assholes because they're tired and they're running late for work, and their boss they're about to lose their job because they slept in too long.
Right, exactly.
And
yeah,
now,
exactly.
And now they're trying to cut to work, and then they get in the carpool lane because they're way behind on time, and then you get a ticket. Now you're stressed out even more. You're even more late. It's just a whole domino effect.
Yeah, that's funny because I every single time if I'm driving, if it's like 7:58 or something, I always look around because I go, okay, I know what's going to happen. You're going to have people going just fucking hauling.
Yep.
Right, trying to get past you. Yep. So I always know. I mean, I keep an eye on the clock all the time, just for fun more than anything, knowing that these people are just going to go batshit crazy.
Yep.
Because they overslept.
Yep.
Or at like 8:10.
Yep.
And now they're just
running late.
freaking.
And it's hilarious to watch when you're sitting in rush hour traffic and you're early for work and you see these people panicking. And
freaking out,
because they know they're going to be late.
Yeah.
If you got a little bit more restful sleep, you would have woke up a little bit earlier, maybe felt a little bit more refreshed. You would have been on time. You don't have to put yourself through that.
There you go.
Just go to sleep.
So there's the 3 tips.
Yeah.
The progression instead of perfection.
Yes.
The eat the elephant one bite at a time.
Yep.
Just dedicate yourself to showing up.
Just show up.
And then get some damn sleep.
Yep. Get some damn sleep. Your life will be infinitely better.
There you go. So tell people that where they can get a hold of you if they need to or if they want to.
So for me, we are online, fasttraining.com. There's a hyphen in between there, fast-training.com. We're on 7th Street in Glendale here in Phoenix. You can look me up on the web there, or strengthsensei.com, certified practitioner on there as well.
Do you guys have any online programs at all for people that are out of town?
We do not offer any online programs, unfortunately, but that is something that I have been advised to look into to save myself.
Yeah,
so much
I talked to her. I talked to her last night about getting in your ear about that.
Yes,
because that's where it is.
Oh, yeah. No, totally. That's where
everything's
everything's where you can train as many people remotely.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way to go. Well, thanks, man. Appreciate it coming in.
No, thanks for having me.
Thanks, Angela. Thanks for sitting in our conversation with us. Remember, you can go to javabud.com for all the stuff, all of the podcasts, all of everything, the videos and whatnot. I'm going to post the podcast on the podcast page, the video on the video page. If you have any questions or comments, you can also leave those. And I still have my freebie giveaway. You can go to the website and get the freebie giveaway. It's 7 phrases you absolutely have to know to have a kick-ass life, basically is what it comes down to.
All about kicking ass.
Right? It's all about kicking ass. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks, Shane. And
we'll
we'll see you guys next week.
All right.